Welcome back to DreamLeague Season 5. We just had our first game of the day, and it was Navi who came out victorious in their first game against No Diggity, and at what fashion. I mean, that is not Navi. I mean, I'm not even going to say it. They did it. They really did.
They certainly did. Well, it was an amazing amount of pressure that they were putting on, and we were saying the Shadow Demon, like he needs a combo. I completely underestimated how insane that Sunstrike was going to be. The combo with Shadow Demon, my God, it was almost like 90% of their HP, and just one combo. It was horrifying.
Yeah, it was actually so much damage. That's why I doubted the Prophet pick at first. I was like, they actually need something to kill the target they disrupt and Sunstrike, but it was actually way enough. They didn't need anything. The Prophet just had to last at the guy, and the guy was pretty much dead from one combo. So I think even No Diggity, that's pretty much the story of the game for them. They underrated it as well, and we're probably going to see it later with replays. Like, they just TP in because they think they can save the guy, but he's actually dead as soon as they disrupt him, and yeah.
We have the exact replay for that scenario. It is the story of the game as a highlight clip. So let's take a look at that and see how No Diggity almost dug their own grave.
No Diggity got dug.
Yeah, No Diggity dug their own grave. I believe we have a replay clip coming up. Ooh, in the board.
They just need the magic finger.
Yeah, the magic fingers makes it happen. Okay, so pause here for a sec. Tell me what the scenario is.
Well, the scenario is they're going to open on Gyro. Yeah. So right now he's just farming. As you can see on the rest of the minimap, like they were going for a, I'm not sure what that was, but that was probably a smoke play from No Diggity onto the Lycan mid. They want to kill him mid, and they're going to get him. They will get him on this move. And OD's just chilling, pushing the bottom tower. So No Diggity is applying pressure. They don't really know where Navi is. But turns out Navi's going on the Gyro. So the question is, when they go on your Gyro, can they save him or not?
No.
And if they can, it's worth TPing in, because Gyro is one of those heroes that if he doesn't die, like you have the Venge, but the Venge TP is actually not so good because it's very close to the Gyro. So the swap is not going to do anything. Had the Venge TP'd here, he could have swapped him and put him in a safe position. But look at this. This doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't even matter. He can't swap him out. He's basically swapping him to the same place, so he ends up swapping the Oracle, but yet again, it doesn't do much.
No, he can't swap him to someone to kill Oracle. Yeah, that probably was his plan, but he's by himself
from there on,
right now.
From there on, this move is like abort. Like they should just leave this completely and focus on something else. As you can see,
that's a sad treat.
Kog'Va on the bottom lane doesn't react because he probably looked with his camera and was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So he doesn't even TP with the OD. And the rest are killing the Lycan in the mid lane, as you can see on the minimap. He TPs now though, because he sees that they really overcommit and they start chasing. So that's his own assumption that he can actually do something here and try to save or get like follow-up kills.
Well, also assumption is already on.
Yeah, but you can see solo assumption. He's gonna probably get disrupted if I remember right.
Yep, and gets disrupted right here.
Yep. And then he's gonna get sunstriked again, and he's gonna get one-shotted. So that's probably a mistake from him to just TP in. He should have let the Venge die. But I mean, I think that backup from No Diggity could have worked if the Venge TP was a bit more clutch. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And as soon as they realized, they should have, forfeit on the guy who's alive. Like, he is dead. Just focus on getting something else.
Yeah. So it was decision making this game.
Yeah. That move is definitely a decision-making mistake from No Diggity.
Do you think that was also the reason why they lost this game, or was it also partly outdraft, perhaps, with the Shadow Demon, that they weren't prepared for that?
I wouldn't say it was an outdraft. I think Navi had a very solid draft. It wasn't like an outdraft. They weren't outpicked, but I think No Diggity didn't really understand the strength of the Navi draft. They were, but that's also the good thing about picking something unconventional, right? Like you don't first pick your OD. Sure, they got the Invoker, but this Lycan Shadow Demon lineup is weird. Yeah, and it worked. And No Diggity, I don't think they ever got to play against it correctly.
Yeah.
We also have a highlight that Slacks found very interesting, particularly.
Yes, please show my highlight.
So let's take a look at that one, because
great.
It's a little bit more goofy, perhaps.
All right, here we go. Now this is an important move right here. As you can see, everybody's getting them ready together. They're all wanting to move into this very important gank here. The boys are on the move. But wait a second. Here we see a transformation from Lycan back here. He's getting into wolf form.
And this is where No Diggity says, let's run. They're trying to run. I believe they're trying to run away from this fight.
But the Lycan's going to catch them.
They're out of here. But here comes Lycan. But wait a second. It's the classic.
Pause. What's happening?
That, my friends, is the classic ArtStyle right here. As farmed as he can be, he's ready to move on. Lycan wants it. but he's got to do a little something that dogs are used to. He's got to smell a little butt. Play it, buddy. Oh my God, look at this expert block. He's even pinging, get the hell out of my way. He finally knows.
But by that time, it's already too late. No Diggity's already gone.
It's like, I'm done. I'm just going to go farm.
Beautiful. ArtStyle, an amazing player, especially from plays like that. I love it.
He did have a very good game on Shadow Demon.
He did an amazing job. He got both the things, the super carry and the super troll, all in one game. I love it.
He won them the early game for sure. Like, he secured them a really good laning phase besides all the efforts by Yapsor that also played an amazing early game. Like, he pressured so much. Unfortunately, I think that the lane that should have been pressured should have been the Invoker lane rather than the Lycan lane. But he couldn't read it because Soneko wasn't Soneko. ArtStyle was just playing around mid all the time. So he had no option but pressure the safe lane from Na'Vi.
If you were to swap any hero out on the lineup of no Diggity, which one would it be for who?
Garo. I don't think Garo was the pick. No, I don't think so. I don't think Garo
was the one I called.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I would have thought the Garo. I think, as I said during the pre-game, I would have went for like something like a Windrunner. I don't think it's the right approach to decide to fight their lineup. Garo was the fight pick. It's like, sure, you want to show up to like in front of towers with Invoker, Summon, Shadow Demon, whatever. We're just gonna fight you. And I don't think Beast wants to do it really. I don't think OD wants to do it. Like, you're some OD with portraits and drums. You don't really want to run into like summons, Lycans. You just want to chill, keep farming, get your items. And Garo does the opposite. So I don't think the Garo pick made sense. At least not to me.
How much of an influence had the first few seconds of the game had on the game, where Na'Vi got a 2-1? 2 kills for 1 and before the creep spawned.
Well, it certainly didn't help.
It helped, but it said, like, was there anything like
it didn't help them at all.
It's always good goal to grab, but I don't think it did so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can have a.
There you go.
They can have a skirmish in the jungle without any payback.
Fun.
I would like to have that because that's fun to see. We had like 20 kills at 20 minutes or something. We had 4 kills at 2 minutes or 8 kills rather, 4-4.
Well, you know, Na'Vi got to do what they like to do. They like to get in that pressure. They like to put in a bunch of different fronts, and they like to end the game early. Maybe this game we'll be able to see Diggity do what they like to do. That big crowd control, ults, the big stuns. And I feel like Diggity was kind of out of their element, and that's why they got spanked so hard. So hopefully they get their drafts and bans in order, and we get to see some double bubble action or something.
Yeah, we are very close to entering the draft, so we can find out who's going to go for what. I'm actually very curious because today is the first time we've seen it. Last week, not at all. I'm talking about, I always bring this up, I'm very sorry.
Here we go.
Talking about first pick and side. So previous game,
no
Diggity chose first pick, and then Na'Vi chose Radiant. The second game, it was first pick that got chosen by Na'Vi, and then No Diggity chose Radiant. Even though last week it was the other way around. Last week, or rather, people still chose first pick first, don't get me wrong, but they always chose Dire.
Yeah.
So why do you feel Na'Vi favors Radiant in this case?
So usually what people need to understand is that when you pick Radiant, most of the time it's because you want to secure yourself, you want to secure the game for your mid laner. Radiant is way better for mid laners because of many things. For example, like when you pick Prophet offlane, it's the perfect example. Like, it's way easier for Prophet offlane to gank the mid lane on Dire than to gank the mid lane on Radiant. We saw General did it this game. He just TP'd on the trees that are behind the tier 1 tower for Dire, and then no one sees him. He's in the fog completely, so as he can spawn treants and get on the OD, and it's already too late. So, and also it's easier for supports to protect the mid on Radiant than it is on Dire. So when they pick Radiant, it means a Na'Vi, they have Denji. I mean, it's not a surprise. They run a Lycan, like for example in this strat, Lycan is one of those heroes. He doesn't really care. Like, you can pressure him on the lane, sure. All he needs is levels. And then eventually he's gonna go jungle, give the lane to the support, and he's gonna, like, his farm is gonna skyrocket no matter what.
And the Roshan advantage is, like, doesn't matter because the game's gonna be over too fast.
Yeah, and that they know that they're gonna pressure, and they're gonna be able to get Rosh when they decide to, because they're gonna be leading. Na'Vi is very aggressive, so it's like they're gonna win fights, take towers, and get Rosh when they want to. They don't want to sneak Rosh. Like, Roshan advantage is an advantage because of the positioning. So it's like you could get it before they actually realize. And we actually saw it from Diggity. Like, they lost the fight to Rosh, but then as soon as they respawn, they're closer to it. They have vision around it, so they sneaked into the Rosh pit and they stole it away from Na'Vi, let's say. So that works because they're Dire. But Na'Vi they don't really care. They probably favor laning and the mid lane as well. So that explains it. They probably have a plan behind it, obviously.
Okay, I think they have a plan behind their next game as well. They actually opened with the same pick as No Diggity did,